laptop a lot of tó ṣàwọn èèyàn ládàá yẹ́kẹ́yẹ́kẹ́ ẹ wá wọ ẹ̀jẹ̀ rẹpẹtẹ tí òun ṣe kékeré tó ń ṣàwọn èèyàn ti lọ sí hospital nsìn ṣe ti rí ẹ ti rẹ́jẹ̀ wọ́n ṣàwọn èèyàn rẹpẹtẹ wọ́n níbọn dání wọ́n lé everything ṣe ti are you seeing? You see, it's God that saved us in our compound today. Oh. Plenty people, they are like 30. Speaking Hausa, maybe they are Fulani Hausa, we don't know. You see them? You see, it's a big compound. They rob everybody. They enter the compound, they enter the room one by one. Even the upstairs besides our house, they rob them. They robbed everywhere. They entered the room from back, from front. They robbed everybody. Are you seeing? Are you seeing? They robbed everybody one by one after the other. As you can see, you see?
Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. So when you take or think about where they are going to take this year, would be the bloodiest, most divisive, most violent electoral charade that you've ever seen. I don't know how long you have lived. It will be one of those that at some point, all of this I'm saying to you today, just to let you know that the effort to say you want to fix Nigeria is just a mirage. So their campaigns of calumny, their campaigns of ethnic division, hatred, and the rest that you are going to be picking up along the line will prove to you that we can save ourselves if we were actually dealing in our own, dealing with ourselves in our own different countries, regions, or just anything that allows us never have to say, you want to lead Nigeria. It will be a sort of a, well, it won't be this hateful. If Tifnumbu want to be president and he decide to throw himself at the Yorubas in a Yoruba controlled region and government, economy, defense, and finance, all of that, it will be left to it will be left to the Yorubas to decide. We will be the one to decide if the likes of Tifnumbu or any other Yorubas are worthy to represent us as leaders. It won't have to be going through a come on. Pet-Obi, who wants to be president, can indeed save himself, and then the rest of us save ourselves by making him the president of the Igbo region and extraction, which there is nothing wrong with. And if Atifku, Kwankwaso, and the rest of them want to be president of a northern country, then they throw themselves at the people of the northern Nigeria to decide their political fate. But you are going to witness something. You are already witnessing it. Something that is going to make you know and understand very well the message of Mayegun, that my message of you understanding the peculiarity of your own, let me put it this way, the importance of your own identity and the complication that comes with it when you have to, you have to mix it with the identity of one Nigeria, which in its truest sense is actually defined by the concept of a northern Nigeria. So when you bury your own identity, then you begin to fight all this fight of they are Igbos, they are Yorubas, the Yoruba is better, The Fulani Hausa, they cannot trust you. The Igbos cannot trust this one, and that one cannot trust that one. Save ourselves from all of this madness and be proud for who we are for once before Nigeria happened to all of us. Look at all of this. You have been reading a lot of hate messages, haven't you? I am not here to encourage you to hate yourselves by asking you to come to the understanding that the one Nigeria is a mirage. It is the confusion. You cannot preach unity, fairness, justice, equality, equity, and the rest of that. They are not just words. They are deeds. They are actions. They are things you do that you get judged by to show if you mean them. But in Nigeria, they don't exist in practice. They don't. In theory, they do. That's why everybody throws the word around. Or nobody. They say, oh, we need equity. We need equality. Why? Because there's no equality. We need fairness because there's no fairness. You know what I mean now? We need unity because there's none. And the reason why you don't have them is because of the injustice in the system that continue to breed this unity. And our utterances is based on these prejudices, or let me say these differences, which actually, fuel our prejudices. Now, with all these open prejudices against one another, it is deceitful. It is it is wrong for you to ignore them and jump on the bandwagon of unity. Unity. We need to unite. We need to come together. My ego is telling you, I am just reminding you that even though you want to try to ignore this obvious, stuffs, but they are the main reasons why every 4 years or anytime you choose to do your rituals of one Nigeria, it is not real. But it would have made more sense, right? If there is no reason for a northerner to fear a southerner being the president of a supposed one country. Because the northerners, they understand very well that they have so much at stake if the people they don't trust access the corridors of power. You can preach unity from today till tomorrow. They have an idea why that kind of unity or equality is going to be detrimental to the northern agenda, which also is not in the interest of the majority of the northerners, but conditioned to fear other people from outside the northern enclave. Now, this is the reality. Something that some of us from southern Nigeria continue to tell ourselves that we could change. Yeah, we can change all of that since we understand the reasons. Let us educate the people this and blah, 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 blah. But an average southerner doesn't understand what is really at stake when the conversation around the power comes to the table. And that is why when you are shadow boxing in the dark, is exactly what you are doing when you claim to, as a southerner, shouting one Nigeria. You have no idea. It would have been less cumbersome. Sorry that they use all this big grammar. Some of them I don't even understand them myself, but sometimes they just fit into what I'm saying. And I've had less people complain about them anyway, because it's like some of my own fact checkers probably don't even understand them too. It's a conundrum, log jam, and all of that stuff. Free words. To save ourselves, in a nutshell, from this whole confusion, is to begin to admit that unity is not just a word. Trust is not just a word. And you can't have a united country where injustice reigns. No, you won't have one. If you ever dream of it at all, it is malaria. Think about that. But when we are all in our own space, and somebody from northern Nigeria, whose way of life says they should be very careful. Now, let me rephrase so. Let me re-explain this as well. When we say Nigeria is not one, we are not making it up. When people say they should, I mean, people should do their best to make Nigeria better, it doesn't mean that people are not trying. There are genuine people who actually feels like they can make it better, they can make a difference. But the bottom line is that you can't make a difference if you are dealing with a system that is dealing with mistakes, errors, human errors, or errors of omission and commission. I don't know the meaning as well, so don't mind. Or if you know the, just context. This is a deliberate, or put it this way, a deliberately put together failed system that they can only sustain because the survival of the northern Nigerian elites depends on it. So no explanation for why we can't handle our own affairs differently. A southerner believes that a true democracy means a true federalism where everybody can handle their own, but that's in theory, it's not real. But if you calm down for a second and you watch that Amadou Bello's interview 60 years ago, self-preservation. Self-preservation, if it is genuinely pursued in the interest of the people, in this case, indigenous people that make up what is today's Nigeria, self-preservation, none of you would have to jealous anyone else. As long as they are not mitigating against your own development or growth. Mitigating, that's another one. No, something that's running against your. That's why I said mitigating against. Maybe I shouldn't, or just mitigate forever. You won't have to be jealous of anyone. No one would have to be jealous of you, since they would have no say in how you choose to be ruled or to be governed. That's the concept of why all of this, why all this hate. A supposed one Nigerian actor who has made movies to encourage love, unity, blah, 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 blah. Spoke against movies against injustice, against politicians, corruptions, and the rest of that. But when it comes to them making decisions or political decisions that has to do with national interest, he picked his own tribal interest. Would you blame him? If you see a Yoruba man that says, Yoruba man must be president and all of that, in real life, if you are very honest, you won't blame him or her. You know why? Because everybody is lying to themselves about one Nigeria. Maybe not everybody, because some of you believe that you are not lying to yourself. Nigeria is a great place. It can be a great place and the rest of that, ignoring this obvious. But an average person is going to be rooting for their own person, even if that person is a failure. That is the concept of one Nigeria. And that concept is not in the interest of all the people who can claim to be nationals of Nigeria. Do you see that now? The space of, I don't trust them. What do you want me to do? You want me to go and support Igbo? You this my Igun, you are supporting an Igbo man. I am supposed to be a Nigerian, Abi. And Pet-Obi is supposed to be a Nigerian, Abi. Tifnubu is supposed to be a Nigerian, Abi. Now, me as Nigerian, Okay, I want to choose one Nigerian. Oh, I'm going to choose a Tifnumbu. Hey, look at him. Oh, it's because he's a Yoruba man. He's this and that. You know why that concept is that? It's because they won't see him as a Yoruba. I mean, they won't see him as Nigerian. Nobody's really see themselves as Nigerian. Now lie, now fraud. But again, oh, I won't choose Tifnumbu. I'm going to choose another Nigerian, Pet-Obi. Hey, look at him. Oh, he's choosing an Igbo man over a Yoruba man. Do you understand that? Nigerian is just a fraud that people use with ease to manipulate you. The real thing behind them is that they always have their own mindset of who they really are. And when Mayegu says, drop that Nigerian fake mask and put on your real identity so that we can judge you by that. I mean, with all your chest. They say, this Mayegu is enemy of Nigeria. This Mayegu is enemy of this and that. I am not. I'm just trying to tell you to be honest. Because in the right mind, in your own right frame of mind, there is somebody that you are. And somehow, some of you are fighting the age-long urge that said you should be careful of that person because of where they come from. You should be careful of that person because of their religion. You should be careful. All those flimsy things. Many of you are saying, I am just learning better because I'm saying the truth. You know I'm saying the truth. But saying it again and again and again annoys those who want to live the lie. They love the lie. My friend, shut up your mouth. We are all one country. We are one Nigeria. We should all work together and build one Nigeria. Is a lie. You know it's a lie. If it is the truth, you would not be repeating it. And if it is also right, you would probably have made a lot of successes in that saying, we are one, we are this and that. But you know it's not. You know it's not. So what my ego is saying is that we can drop that lies. Honestly speaking. Yeah, we can drop it. And it starts from you trying to say you are right with your mission, agenda to save Nigeria. When are you going to stop lying to yourself? I mean, for real. Somebody's still going to call you an Igbo man. Yes. No matter how much you try. Yeah. Somebody's still going to know you and call you a Yoruba man. And they are not calling you a Yoruba man because, yeah, you are a Yoruba man. What is wrong? You are a Hausa man. You are an Ijo man or Ijo woman. There's nothing wrong. But you know, the reason why they have to remind you is because if you carry that one Nigeria too much, to them, you are just taking a piece. When the real things comes down, you are going to really speak up for who you are. The Mayegun says, can we all drop the pretense? When we drop the pretense and we begin to understand why it never worked and it will never work, but it can work if we drop the fake mask and go for self-preservation. There is nothing wrong in that. Self-preservation brings self-respect. And self-respect means we respect others. If you don't respect yourself, you are likely never going to respect other people. And that is where the rule of trespassing or trespassers, person where they pass their own boundary, come to force. I am not asking you to take my word for word. I am just trying to help you connect the dots and more reasons why you are not going to be the first to profess your love for Nigeria, coming from the background of how Nigeria has frustrated you. You are not the first. Your generation won't be the first. But if we continue to lie to ourselves that we have one or two things to save Nigeria by keeping it together, Our children are also going to print vests. They are going to print banners. They are going to scream, break up Nigeria, rescue Nigeria, this Nigeria, that. They are going to protest again when you are old and unable to fight again. Mine is just to let you know that it can be done differently with the same energy, only if you understand why it is so important. Sure, you get me now? Just think about what I'm sharing with you. I don't have all the answers. I'm not a genius. I'm not all of this, but I have used the actions, the words of the actors who have contributed and still contributing to the state of collapse that Nigeria has found herself today. I have used their antecedents. I have used their own actions now, and I have pinned all of the, I have paired all of this together just to let you understand why it is not worth it to say you want to save a place that is deliberately put together never to work. So I'm not saying you shouldn't try. Keep trying. But when you are trying, do not ignore the truth. Do not sugarcoat it. Stop creating your own alternative reality. Because last, we all end up in the same space. The contraption Nigeria. It would make better sense if we are not trying to save Nigeria, but save ourselves. How? There's something called ADIED, misunderstanding, which has created the yam pepper scatter in Yoruba. ADIED tó ti fa yánpọnyánrin iṣu ata yanyan, yam pepper scatter. This their charade called election is going to further solidify that. But if we share our energy together, like the same way you think you can save Nigeria, and possibly start that saving from here, trust me, it probably will save us a lot. This is the genesis of why you would spend the next 7 months explaining to an average or majority of the northerners, religious fanatics, impoverished populace, a system that shone out millions of voters, but staggering, poor numbers of those available to be educated. This is the genesis. This right here is the reason why you are going to have to battle, attack yourselves, explain to yourselves why Yorubas should not fight Igbos, Igbos should not fight Hausas, Fulanis should not fight Ijaws. This is the reasons why you are going to spend the next days, weeks explaining to yourselves why Nigeria is worth saving. 1999 Constitution the one that continued the colonization, the amalgamation, the forceful one that gave nobody a chance to survive. One day, soon, many of you are going to eventually turn around. And you see, when this is completely crushed, when people say, support one Nigeria now because there is no referendum in their constitution, they will not be saying that anymore. When people say, let us know the total number of people who actually live and exist in northern Nigeria scientifically to actually know and put an end to this generational fraud, which has contributed greatly to why the contraption continue to drink blood of innocent people. One day, when you crush and crash and bin that trash book, you will be bold enough to call for the breakup of the whole arrangement. A lot will make the existence of Nigeria less valuable. And for now, that's why I said that I am not going to say you shouldn't try. But the reasons why you have to explain why religion shouldn't be a problem in a progressive society. Why, the qualification of those who stand to lead a country matters, not where they come from, not the type of religion they worship or follows. The reason why you have to spend the rest of these coming months to fight tribalism, to fight ethnic profiling, religious fanaticism, all of you are trying to save Nigeria. The reasons why you have to fight and do all of that is that 1999 constitution. As a Yoruba man, as an Ijebu man, I have suffered ethnic tribal profiling more in my life in the hands of my fellow supposed compatriots, Nigerians, than I have suffered in the hands of those that are generally believed to be racists. And I will explain. Talking about living in denial, creating an alternative reality to the truth. I have done more damages than what the system is really doing, if you have to say, like living in denial. In Nigeria, in the true Nigeria, we suspect ourselves. And if you want to know better, just pay attention to the verbal exchanges, rhetorics that are going to be, or that are popping up when Nigerians are supposed to be discussing Nigeria. You read the type of words that we use against ourselves. A Yoruba man, we so pissed, angry, for no just reason against an Hausa man or an Igbo man that is raging mad against a Yoruba man in that Nigeria, and then they begin to exchange insults. You will see how deep-rooted and how deep racist our own people are. If you don't agree, of course, Mayegun, I don't agree with you. Oyinbos did this, Oyinbo did that, and the rest of them. I said, oh, yeah, they did. But have you really paid attention as well to what we are now doing to ourselves, even when we have a chance to protect ourselves from those that they've trained us to believe that they have been racist forever? I am not trying to patronize you or trying to make you feel in any way agitated or what have you. But you should be in the midst of Nigerians who have a different views on how they think Nigeria should be. Then you will understand what racism is. Well, we call it tribalism, right? Tribalism. Or should you call it ethnicism? You will hear people say some bigoted utterances like, if you see them, you should kill them. This is why we kill them. This is why anytime we see this, we have to kill them. This is why you should never make them have a chance to lead you because they are infidels. And I'm talking about supposed Nigerians. Nigerians were like Nigerians, so horrible things, how they feel towards one another. And how quick it's easy, or how quick it is for them to launch mass killings of one another due to the deep-rooted hate that they have for one another. I have not started mentioning tribes and now, but you know what I'm talking about. So then you begin to feel like the level of tribal hatred over nothing among those of us who are supposed to be like of the same skin, of the same country. It is real enough for you to know that we suffer quick death in our own hands, in the hands of our own supposed brothers and sisters who even have the, look at those who have the chance to who have the access to our power. Look at how they treat us. You are treated in Nigeria, either good or bad, based on where you come from. That is true. That is real. You are treated, the way you are treated in Nigeria is determined by the clique you belong to, either by religion or by the tribe or ethnic and the rest of that. So when they say, these people are so racist, I'm like, well, I'm not going to defend them. But at the same time, what do you call what blacks are doing on blacks as we speak today? Look at what we are doing to ourselves in that same Nigeria. And these are the facts that, to me, if you want to be honest to yourselves, then you probably will know that we set ourselves up, makes ourselves vulnerable, and then we hope that we could blame it on just anyone we can blame it on. But the bottom line is this: we have done enough damages in the name of one Nigeria to ourselves. But maybe if we begin to kind of break it down, break everything to that where people can actually deal with their own problems in their own ways, without you having to suspect that somebody is coming from Eastern Nigeria to come and take away your rights in Northern Nigeria, or somebody is coming from Northern Nigeria to come and Islamize you in Southern Nigeria. Can we save ourselves from all that stress? That is my Yegun's messages. Or you want to save one Nigeria? Good luck. Good luck to you on that. And the likes of Kwankwaso and co, they will continue to saturate your space enough that the walls of Mayegun and the likes of Mayegun, they will never cease to ring bells in your mind. Saving Nigeria is a mirage. And if you probably know better, you would never invest not a bit of your own emotion into it. But I won't tell you to not try, but never forget all we have shared. I'm going to take calls. But before I go, I have an update for you. This my update has to do with our activities of Mayegun's Diary Political. I am somebody who prefer to, you know, be a teacher as well as a learner, someone who inspire other people to put actions into their words. And we have done so well on Mayegun's Diary Political when it comes to putting actions into our words. Last project that was given to me on this Temple of Truth was about our Yoruba Rescue Fund. And I told you that whatever is worth doing at all, in my own book, is worth doing well. And I also said, me, I am Mayegun, and this is what I do. Okay, I look at happenings and then share them, back them with facts enough, pretty much like an educative platform that could help, be instrumental into a social change, a drive for social change that could change people from complacency, people who complain and then just sit back and complain, to people of action, an active generation that could drive a revolutionary social change. I don't know. I'm just trying to sound like a professional. Don't worry. I'll break it down for you. Okay. Everything I said there, I won't even be able to repeat them. But I spoke them from the heart, because that's exactly why what I believe I do on Mayegun's Diary Political, what I exist for. And it's been like that for years. Now, when the life challenge, or that you get some sort of a challenge thrown your way, can you do it bigger? Can you do it better? And help more people to get the message of this social change. Driving social change is one of the things that brought me to love the Biafrans, and I support them. I love them. I stand by them. I wish I have some influence I could wield, but one day I'm going to have that influence that I can wield to make a serious impact on anything I'm part of. And that same thing that also keep me kind of at home, make me feel like at home when we are talking about the Yoruba nation and the Yoruba interest and the Yoruba struggle, development and all of that, which I have been doing for years. But challenges sometimes should be well defined. When we decided to intervene legally and otherwise in the fight against, or let me say defense against a system that is out to persecute those who are tired of this whole Nigerian system, right? When we decided to be part of that, we call it intervention. Oh, let's intervene. I didn't come here to choose that, oh, maybe we should fight. My own fight then was pretty much like, you must have the weapons to fight legally, otherwise, and all of that. But we can start somewhere, and we called it intervention. And to God be the glory, we have done so well with that. Honestly, we've done so well. I mean, on Mayegun's Diary Political, before this intervention or no intervention at all, on this Mayegun's Diary Political, okay, we have supported charity organizations in Nigeria that are helping the people right there in Nigeria. Yeah, we did. We raised millions of naira for them, even without meeting them. On Mayegun's Diary Political, we have supported even individual members on this platform, financially and otherwise. We've done that successfully as well, even without meeting them or them meeting Mayegun. On this platform as well, we've taken up a kind of, fight, speaking out against the system that is so oppressive in Nigeria, the victims. And we've not just spoken about victims, we have also extended our hands of support to their families too. We've raised funds to support families of those incarcerated, locked up for speaking up against the system in Nigeria. Maybe I should have a catalog or a catalog of what we have done or we are doing on Mayegun's Diary Political, which prompted us and pushed us to say, Mayegun, how could you not want to do something about this too? We called it intervention. Then we wanted it bigger. That's the time I'm like, hey, let us kind of define this better. I am still Mayegun. And many times I have said it on this platform that I am not a freedom fighter. I am also fighting for my own freedom. And that is why I am using my platform to attract other people, like minds, people who feel like something is wrong. We need to do something, not just talk about it. That's what I do on my platform. So I am not fighting for your rights. I'm not fighting for your freedom. I don't even have the capacity to. When I ask you, let us fight, I'm saying, let's fight for our freedom. Let's do this. You know what I mean? No intention of being the leader of anything. But like I said, responsibilities comes in different forms and all that. But at the same time, it should never change a man from who he is. So when we decided that we are going to help our people back in Yoruba land, and this will require we include many of us having to indeed volunteer to be part of that. The idea was huge, big, and that's such idea that will cut across healthcare, agriculture, security, commerce, economy, and so many ways that we are putting all this together, including education. Well, that's bigger than something you can call that. You can call an intervention. So I consulted with people on Mayegun's Diary Political in the last 4 months alone. My friends here, we have raised over 60,000 pounds sterling. And we have received, in possession after all those fundraisers, we have received over 50,000 pounds from the generosity of many of us here. And during this period, we have now supported even something bigger than we've ever done before in the areas of supporting those being persecuted by the system that we all complain of all the time. On Mayegun's Diary Political, we have paid the legal fees of people. We have paid the medical bills of people. We have paid the welfare bills of people in millions of naira. We have supported members of this platform financially in the areas that we could as well, all on record. And upon all that, we are still happy to say we still have savings. I am happy to tell you that although we might have spent over 30 million naira supporting people in Yoruba land, outside Yoruba land, in different ways and forms, on record. We are still happy to have a balance of over 10,000 pounds sterling in our savings, which you can roughly put at over 7.5 million naira. We have invested in publicity. We have paid for investigative journalists to visit areas affected by all the reports and things we talk about, especially on security in Yoruba land. We have mobilized a lot of things behind the scene as well that has helped and contributed to why we should indeed get involved in what they have done to our people in Yoruba land. Now, good enough. I can't keep all money and I can't take more money because in the country that I live, there are laws that guide the financial transactions, financial, movement and all of that. Money movements. The idea behind our own Yoruba Rescue Fund is bigger than just money, donations and this and that. It's so huge and big that I decided to consult with people who know better than myself. I am just Mayegun. I just want to turn on my camera. I just want to talk about things and I just want to help in areas I could help. Taking on a charity-like organization to drive in our humanitarian drive for Yoruba nation. Importantly, that is bigger than Mayegun's Diary Political. It is bigger than myself. It's a big vision that will succeed with the help of expert others. I don't want to run into trouble trying to help people. We have financial laws in the UK and seeking the advice of experts. Our idea of helping our people is going to attract a lot of financial drive, and therefore it must be legally, properly set up. I'm sorry if I'm trying to stretch it and drag it. Might you going to tell us what you want to tell us? I know. I think that's the best way I can make you understand what I'm about to tell you. It's not such a good news, but it is as well for those who can think deeper. I want to build something that can outlive me. I want to build something that can touch lives in millions. I want to build something with you that we can all call our own. Building such thing should never have what we call the conflict of interests. It is an idea, and I've found those who can make it work better for us without violating any law, without running into trouble water of accusation of money laundering and other things that I have been told if something is not done right. So, number one, we would not be launching our rescue fund anytime soon, because I figured out that, many of you know that as well. It is beyond building a website, opening a bank account, and asking people to put money there. And they begin to select, no, it's beyond that. This is going to be a proper and the first of its kind Yoruba, organization that focuses more on policy implementation that cut across not just, charity or what have you, just the message of Yoruba nation. It is more than that. This is something that is going to cut and touch our people in the areas of education, in the area of healthcare, in the area of commercial development, in the area of microfinancing, in the areas of, importantly as well, in the area of security. It is bigger than Mayegun's Diary Political. It is going to drown me. it is going to drown the idea behind Mayegun's Diary Politico. And I can't let that happen. And I can't also let the dream I have with Mayegun's Diary Politico that birth it, even after being shut down. My pages are deleted. After reaching milestones of millions of subscribers and all of that, I kept the name Yoruba, and this agenda is bigger than Mayegun's Diary Political, but it can't bury it. The idea is to make it a community, and I have found the consultants that can make that happen. The idea of rescuing our people is beyond the UK. It's cut across all planets. I mean, sorry, I said all continents. And it has to be done well and right. So on Mayegun's Diary Politico, for now, except there is a reason or emergency to raise fund, we will put a hold on all fundraisers. Again, I know we had one we were doing, and we have a balance we have at hand. We have publicity we said we want to do, and many other things that we are already working on. Well, like I said, except we decided that, oh, Mayegun, okay, let's do something. And we decided to raise fund for it through our medium and platforms. All fundraisers, contributions, and the rest of them should be put on hold now. Okay? There is no point, right? Making this about funds, especially when we know that we can achieve a lot when we finally start something in that regard. Let's keep this as intervention and don't pressure ourselves. I have told the handlers of our publicity, billboards, and the rest of them, we're supposed to renew them, possibly pay out another millions of naira for another month after the end of June. I have told them to pull them down, and we will not be paying for them anytime soon. And we are not also going to be putting up any publicity for Yoruba Nation and all of that for now. I don't want you to mistake this for us backing down. I'm saying there shouldn't be any kind of clash of ideas. We know what we want to do. I have found those who can put all that ideas into a workable book. And if we are still interested, which I believe we would always be, we will launch that and start that soon. One of the things I'm planning to do is, in order for you not to feel like it's going to drag on for too long, we are going to open the portal. We're going to open the platform where you can really sign up. And we can start having our community conversation, volunteering, and the rest of that started. But we will not take donation, and you will be completely advised never to make any donation or contribution to Mayegun or any platform on my platform for now, except a conversation pops up and say, oh, let's talk about this. We want to. Should we? And if we agree, that will be the time that we are also going to come together here and talk about fundraiser. For now, nothing to do with that, okay? But are we going to start our registration soon? The answer is yes. The platform is ready. It is already, sorted and the rest. If I open it tomorrow, it won't last for 1 week. And it is not because anyone from anywhere has any power to stop it because of what we want to do. It is simply because we would be breaking law. Presently, all donations I take, they come in the name of Diaspora Radio International. Diaspora Radio International is a registered organization here, my platform here. I pay tax, and then the system allow me to take support, donation, contribution, and the rest of that. But what we really plan to do is bigger, and I'm not going to do it wrong. This is my update on that. And to everyone who probably will be asking me later, Mayegun, how far with this? I've just told you. Until all of this draft is done, until all the board of trustees and the rest of them have been sorted, until the governance, I just said the word from this consultant today, we will put in governance. Governance is what will allow us to know, for everybody who is going to be part of this to know their responsibilities. And you'll be responsible for everything you said you're going to do. And you'll be asked to be accountable as well. Governance is going to allow us as an organization to be accountable and give record of everything we do every time as an organization. I can do that. So those who are working on that for us, when they are done, I will bring that back to you. And then we can open the portal for direct debit contribution every month, donation and all that towards all our programs and projects, volunteering to be part of any of our programs, either wherever you are right now all over the world, or even if you are in Nigeria, in Yoruba land. All of this will be defined as we speak. They are working on it. Another part I need to tell you is this. At some point, when I do, I'll tell you. You see, this whole thing that we're building behind the scene, I am going to take part of our money to pay for them. I'm going to use some of my money. Then I'm going to take part of our money too. There are some things that you pay for. It has to be paid for. Consultancy is one of them, right? And some few other things. They will take some of our money. I'm not saying I'm going to spend all our money on that. No. When I do, you will know why. It will be for the good cause and the greater good. Why we started in the first place. Again, I am trying to let you know that Mayegun is Mayegun. This idea could be coming from us here on Mayegun's Diary Political. We must endeavor to make sure that it lives and sustains itself, survives, so that wherever season we find ourselves, it will survive and live. Even when Mayegun is no longer here, it will live and survive and sustain itself. And then whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. I will take calls, but until after I make another tea. So again, I've spoken my mind. I would love to hear from you too. All right. But before you do, take a minute, like the video, share it if you can still, if you haven't already. And when I get back, we will continue and I'll take calls.